Alright, so for this video I'm going to show how I solved the busted file challenge in the 2019 Capture the Flag event. If we click on the challenge itself, we can see that the problem description is, "Mommy told you not to store your important files on those old diskettes. Can you repair the file?" And then they give us a file to download, so let's go ahead and download that file. We can see here that if my desktop decides to cooperate, hello? That was fun. So we've downloaded the file. For these, yeah, let's just go ahead and we can view all the hints. The hints that they give us. Have you heard of magic numbers? I've heard of them. Not really sure what that means right now, but it might make sense in a little bit. So if we go over to busted.zip, we see that it contains image.jpg. So let's try and extract that. And we say that there is an unexpected error keeping from copying the files. Unspecified error. Try again. Okay, so it's not letting us extract that file. So I actually prefer WinRAR. So what happens when I try to use WinRAR and go for it? The archive is corrupt. Okay, so that's probably the whole busted file thing. So if we go to repair and we try to fix this, what happens? So it says that unexpected end of archive, corrupt header is found, no files repaired. So nothing happened, but we found out that the header is corrupt. Okay, so what I did for this one was we can kind of say, okay, well, the header is corrupt, which essentially, you know, if you think of like a web request or even like a file, a header kind of tells you what the file is all about. Is it a zip? Is it a RAR? What kind of compressions, etc. Just it tells you a little bit about the file. So if we go to something like a hex editor, we can go ahead and we can open that file, and we can see all this garbage and all these hex values, which you don't really need to understand any of this. But I know that the header, something in this general area isn't right. What is wrong? I don't really know. I don't know the hex of a valid header. But what we can do is we can go ahead and actually just create our own. So we can say, hey, here's an image. We can say, I don't know, image 2. Put that on the desktop. Just any image will do. And then we can go ahead and then let's go ahead, and this was a zip. So let's just make sure that we actually make it a zip. Zip format, okay. And so now we have a zip file that should be correct because we just made this. So this is how zips are supposed to be. If we go File, Open, and we can open up zip 2. So now we can kind of go back and forth, and we can kind of see that this 080 seems to be pretty much the same across both, but these numbers are different. Now, if the header is corrupt, that means we're trying to replace the header, and this is the one that works. Then let's go ahead and take these values here, and let's replace them in the busted version. And it's because red, because that's what we replaced it with. And let's just double check here. Okay, so those actually line up now. So if we save busted.zip with that new value, we should be able to close that out. We should be able to extract this now because it's no longer busted. We've uncorrupted the header. So now we can double click this image, bring it over to the menu, and we say this flag is, the flag is in this file. And there's a couple ways that this can be hidden in Capture the Flag or just in security in general. This is called steganography, where it's the process of hiding messages in images. And actually one of the first things I tried doing, there is actually a program called a stag solve, where you can take an image such as this and open it. This one is going to be on the desktop, and this was image.jpg. And we can go ahead and we can essentially go through all of these different types of ways of transforming the image. So this is the red plane, 6543321. Doesn't really matter. What we're trying to do here is see if there's any sort of text that's like hidden inside of the image itself. Maybe the author, made it like a dark blue, and when we highlight it red, it'll just kind of appear, or green, or that's what all this program essentially does. It kind of go through all the possible permutations of the image and see if there's anything hidden on the image's surface. So I didn't see anything there. That looks pretty normal. So the other thing that we can do is just look at the image itself, again with our hex editor. So we open the image in the hex editor, and just kind of eyeball the text. That looks fine. What was that? Oh, and we can see here there's CM19. In this capture the flag, CM19 is usually what the flags start with, code mash 19. So we can actually see that this is probably the flag. I'm 99% sure, and it's just in the text itself. So all I did here is, once we've noticed that, we can say, hey, right-click, open, actually, oh, that's the zip file. That makes way more sense. I actually wanted to go to Edit with Notepad, so that way we can actually get a textual representation. If we do a Control F for CM19, the flag should be right there. Assuming it didn't freak out on me. And we can just go ahead and we can highlight that, copy that over, go into busted file, put in the flag, hit submit, and then that was correct.